Yo, King on a live and direct. I've been receiving a lot of DMs and I've been going over a lot of different things, emails and texts, individuals. They're like, yo, Erna, we need you to tap in on something. And I said to myself, I don't have a problem with tapping on it because at the end of the day, it's kind of checking those from the streets. It don't have nothing to do with the civilians. It don't have nothing to do with anything outside of somebody from the streets turning into a Rilzat and not having understanding that they're actually becoming a Rilzat by the things that they do. Now, a lot of individuals have been saying, Erna, these guys feel as though when they tell on a dead man, it's not telling. And I just want people to look up in a dictionary what telling is. So we have understanding what telling is. I want people to understand the ideology of the mob. Although we know they had rats in the mob also, but the ideology of a rat being a part of a no kosher nostra, it just didn't go that way. It couldn't go that way. It wasn't allowed. This is the streets also. And in street culture, when it come down to different mafias, black, Irish, Jews, whatever you want to name, this is of dishonor. Any form of cooperation that gives authority true information that puts an individual in prison that helps them is a Rilzat. I don't care which way you want to nickname it. I don't care what you new street era guys want to say or claim. I'm telling you here right now that if you are cooperating with law enforcement and giving up information that helps them in their arrest, you're a Rilzat. There's no way around it. I don't care what you say. I don't care if King Kong of the streets came and said, hey, he don't know what he's talking about. He does not know the streets, and he's not from the rawest part of the streets. This guy is from the soft part of the cement. The cement you can write your name in and all that, put your fingerprints in and all that. That's the part of the cement he's from. Because anybody who is from the streets have understanding of this. And I kind of like don't talk on the Rilzat topics no more because it is kind of true. Like you can reach a certain age where that lifestyle is behind you, and we understand that. But my code of ethics, my moral compass would never let me sit back and let people be astray of what's going on. We have civilians that are also now involved in street culture. They are now being excused from becoming Rilzats just because they work every day, but they still sell drugs, or they still carry guns that illegally, or they do all of these negative things. And, they don't want to, take the whole bite when it comes down to it. Well, I'm letting you know, if you're a civilian, you get yourself caught up in the streets, guess what? You get locked up and you're telling on people, you're a Rilzat. You need to wear that. But I don't think that it's of honor, right? To have a man sit down and give information on a man that's not here, putting things on him, whether it's true or a lie. You see, the reason why I say I don't respect that part of it, because you're still helping law enforcement put this man in a position where his name can be bad. As we know, even when it comes down to good deeds, when it comes down to Islam, when you die, they keep going. I mean, who wants to put out such a negative vibe on someone who isn't here, who probably, if they was already in the streets, been through a whole lot of negative things already and have a whole lot of negative things that people are already saying to them. And they already made it to a loss of panel with all of their souls, rather. I mean, they already know their destination by now. Allah has already put it in their grave where they're going to go. They know. But yet you want to slander these people and curse their name out here on this world where their families are going to be harassed. Yeah, because if you don't know, when you go ahead and you lie in the interrogation room and you're putting homicides and violent crimes and things, you leave the family to deal with this nonsense. That's a backdoorsman. So I look at that like a slithery Rilzat. That's a slivery rat. And a lot of individuals are not going to tap into it because they have their own ideology. And this is why individuals should run away from the streets where people are making up things. They are making up that if you tell information that helps the people, federal or state or whichever kind of law enforcement, I don't give a goddamn if it's security. Yeah, I don't care if it's security in the mall and you've been stealing and you nodded off on somebody else and saying, yeah, that was him, or whatever the case may be, or telling them sneakily without them going to court or jail, hey, check your cameras back. The guy that was with me, he was running around the corner. He's probably in a black car right down the street now. They bring him back. You say, oh, I never gave a statement or I never done anything to actually have this person incarcerated. You're a dishonorable Philzuck, and you don't have the mannerism of a gentleman. You don't have a mannerism neither of a gangster. You don't have a mindset that has any sort of honor because you don't care about this person's family members. You don't care about these individuals because in your head, what you're saying to yourself is at the end of the day, I'm the slickest Philzuck in the world. When guess what? There are other alibis. There are other alibis your lawyer can use that doesn't include you cooperating or giving up information or telling anything. Just look up in a dictionary what telling means. Telling anything. Telling is a Rilzat. If you're an individual that claim the streets and you're cooperating with them, that's a Rilzat. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you get in there and you just talking in a third party like Young Thugger was doing. Oh, yeah, so-and-so done that? I can't believe he done that. Oh, he did do that. Yeah, he did. He done it. And, you know, he done this and he done that. And that's a Rilzat. I don't care what you say, how you say it. If I'm in prison and I get on the telephone and I start talking about crime in prison knowingly that at the beginning of the call and right there somewhere in your area where you're using a phone, it says that all calls will be monitored. I believe that you're purposely, I don't care who you are, I believe you have diarrhea of the mouth and that you're purposely trying to get everybody sent to jail. I don't care who you are. If you get on that phone, you have understanding that it is tapped. It's not like a situation where you're in your cell when you're talking and the person is wired, or you're in the toilet, the person is talking and is wired, and you don't have knowledge of this. I'm speaking of an individual that hears that call and an individual gets to run in his mouth like he has diarrhea. That person needs Imodium of the Milzoff ASAP, and he needs to stuff it in his Milzoff until his killzone is filled up with it. We have to have individuals stop chiming in on what's going on in the streets because only thing it does is give more energy towards the negativity. We are trying to pull individuals away from the streets by giving them a clear understanding that these individuals do not have a code of ethic. They do not have a moral compass. So at the end of the day, you're 9 times out of 10 going to either be lined up or cuffed and stuffed. And then, on the other end of it, I got to speak on that too. So many people is doing things to individuals based off of money, their closest friends, the people that they claim they love. If you see the news and you try to figure it out, it's like, I don't even know these people. But for somehow, when you go to the social media and the social media platforms that post about these individuals dying, and you go to the pages and you see how close these people are, you start beginning to have a better understanding that everybody is about a coin. There is no moral ethics. There is no moral compass. These individuals are willing to do all of this based off a bill being paid, because they're not going to tell you. These local drug dealers and these individuals that's in the streets that aren't the actual cartel, they're not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to tell you that they're struggling. They're not going to tell you that the money that they make is the same thing as a job. They're not going to tell you all of this. So at the end of the day, some of them Like when I was coming up, the type of money that was in the streets, they're not used to being broke. So they didn't come home, or they didn't, keep going in the streets with the mindset that, oh, all I'm doing is maintaining. I might as well get a job and I can maintain. They don't have that in them. They're gonna keep going at this negative vibe to earn only because they feel as though this is all they know. But for the individuals that are a part of streets and know this and know they're struggling, that won't get out, soon as things get tight, they lay in bed with a Rilzat. They say, hey, listen, at the end of the day, I don't have nothing to do with that. That woman need a Birkins bag. It's like, okay, how do I get to the closest Rilzat with the Wilzerk so I can go ahead and pay for the Birkin bag? They are losing honor as we speak. There are individuals that are riding around with individuals and telling their friends, oh man, he a Rilzat, it don't Milzat, I'm a back dizzor him. And guess what? They begin to be around them so much, their comfortability gets closer, and guess what they end up doing? Going against the solid street guy in order to get closer to the Rilzat, because the Rilzat is going to keep the Wilzerk. Because when that Rilzat get pulled over, those police are going to walk away, because guess what? He's cooperating with them. And guess what? While he's cooperating with them, they are playing him by the days, by the minutes, and by the seconds. And guess what? Some of them can get away with giving out a little bit of information. But after a certain amount of time, don't you guys have understanding that they're going to come back to those Philzucks and say, hey, you Prilzics, you don't have any more information? Here, slap on the wrist. That's going to give you probation. Now we really got you by the bills. We need more information, you dishonorable Dilzik sucker. You think you're going to be out here in these streets selling drugs, and you're going to be the only drug dealer in all these ages of years that never get arrested? Something's wrong with that. So I have understanding of what's going on. That's why when I came home in 2010, I removed myself from the streets. I'm bonded by the code of principles and moral compass and honorable ethics at the end of the day. And guess what? I will not throw it away because of age or because of my non-involvement in the streets, because moral ethics, moral compass, principles, they never change. They never. I'm tired of you old dishonorable Dilzik suckers, and I'm tired of you young Philzucks feeling as though an individual, a man, is supposed to become a wimp, is supposed to lay down his moral compass all because of an age. It blows my mind. I have individuals I see. They say, oh, these guys are broke. Get some money. Well, getting money takes for me to be a Dilzik sucker than keep me broke. How little bro said it, I'd rather lie in desert before I sell my honor, because at the end of the day, I am not laying down like a man Hilzor. I have to have a manly understanding amongst men. It has nothing to do with streets. It has to do with me saying, I would rather, if I involve myself with crime, I would rather just go to jail for me, and I don't care how it goes. I'll stand trial, but I won't sneakily lie on people. I won't behind interrogation rooms for 3 and 4 hours, get to pointing people out and then thinking that I'm going to get an easy pass for this. No, 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 no. I'd rather just lose trial or plead out to my own case. This is why street individuals had to have understanding that you don't have co-defendants. When you're doing crime, you're selling drugs, it's a secret. You get away from it as soon as possible. Make your couple dollars and change your life around. I don't advise anyone to get involved. But if you're already involved, hurry up and run. Because at the end of the day, these guys are looking to lock you up. And they're not just Rilzats. They are the ones that are potential Rilzats. They already have it in their hearts. They already been calculating the time, looking up the charges of what they doing, and they've been calculating everything you do. And guess what? When it's time, they're going to lock you the Philzuck up. So at the end of the day, just stay away from the streets. Get away from crime, period. But do not be a man who come home from prison after changing his life and start becoming the number one Dilzik eater who's looking to lock individuals up when you know you've done the same goddamn wrong as everybody else? Where is the moral compass understanding there? So I'm guessing when individuals say that these men who have an understanding of moral compass and they don't like the fact that people are actually doing wrong and then locking up others that are doing wrong also and making their families suffer. In life, we have to call a ball, a strike a strike. If you're cooperating, if you're giving up information to help law enforcement put arrest on individuals, you're just a Rilzat. I don't care if you whispered it. I don't care if you whistled it. I don't care if you wrote it down. I don't care how you done it. You're a dishonorable Rilzat. And guess what? At the end of the day, your honor isn't intact. And for the individuals who are running around and being upset because these old individuals are pointing out facts and not living off of opinions of individuals who never even touched the street. Some of these guys who comment and say things, they haven't never, ever been in the streets to ever comment on it. Unless you're like a street biologist, mother Phil Zucker, what are you talking about? You need to stay in the civilian lane. And for the individuals that's in the streets that are backing it when the rats do what they do, you're just a potential Rilzat. And you need to stop it and just come away from the streets because I can see you becoming a Riz. King on a live and direct. That's understanding.